Hey there, welcome to the Luz Lemire channel. Welcome to your January 29th guidance. We're already here. We've already made it to January 29th, the 29th of January. Can you believe it? How's your new year going? You know, we're closing out the month of the first new year, of the new year, Heather. How are you coming along? How are things coming along? Have you given up already on certain things that you put out for last year, for this year? Have you been gentle and also strict with yourself? You know, have you been flexible in your approach? And remember, there's a video. Each of your sun signs has a overall spirit animal presiding over that sun sign this year, and I really, really enjoyed those readings. I think they were very, very insightful and just really beautiful. If you haven't watched it, definitely I recommend watching it. If you have already watched it, I recommend rewatching it just to remind yourself of what this year you may need to tune into or look out for or just really tap into. Yeah. But what we did do for the channel this year, the message for it was, I'm shuffling the cards in the background for January 29th, was about mystery, trusting and believing, and not even trusting necessarily, just being like, bruh, this year is gonna be kind of a wild card year. This year is gonna be it feels like it's going to be a wild card year. There's certain things that I've been picking up on for myself, things that were desires for myself. And I have this thing about desires and what's in our alignment. How do we desire and then it shows up in our path? Or when we are in our path, are we desiring what's up ahead? Because time is relative and unrelative and happening and not happening and there and not there. You know, now is then is now and past is here and past is there. Are we wanting what we are wanting because we have a higher self taste of it because it's already happened in some reality, because it's coming towards us and so we're wanting it, so it just lines up perfectly when it happens? Or is it on our path, or do we want it and then it produces itself on our path as we go towards it? So I was gonna do. Some people are saying, "Oh, Lucy, you should do podcasts." I think literally like two people have said that, so I shouldn't even say it like it's a thing. I feel like these are pretty much kind of like that. But if there was to be a podcast or some sort of audio, it would be about that concept, which I just pretty much explained in like 2 minutes. So that would be a pretty short podcast. But yeah, I always wonder, because certain things that. Then again, I guess I am, who I am, and I guess pretty intuitive. So I wonder if it's just for me though, where there's something that I wanted to do and I wanted to do it for 4 months, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but it would be really cool to do it. Turns out an opportunity just came up. It's not the greatest opportunity. It's not the best circumstances, I should say. A circumstance came up that will actually put me in this position for 4 months. So was that something that I was craving? Was that something that my higher self was like, hey, look out for this? And then that put the desire in me, or, how did that, which came first, the chicken or the egg, essentially? It's that existential sort of question. Yeah, anyway. May I please have the guidance for today, January 29th, please? Yeah, for the beautiful person watching this right now. That's right, I mean you. Cool. Alright. Whether you will settle into victimhood or take life into your own hands. So basically kind of what I was saying. In its way, where it's like, are the things happening to you, or are you in some way, did you conjure them up? Like this card, Sacred Pool, in the reverse talks heavy about victimization, and I don't like when this comes up for anybody. It came up for something, and it was very on point. which was the one time that this message was actually very beautiful. It's about stepping into your power, really. The whole message is about stepping into your power, stepping into your role, stepping into the acknowledgement of who you are, what you're about, and what comes to your life and how you handle that. Being awake, really. In the upright, to me, I will read both of them to you or whatever, but in the upright, to me, this message is about embodiment. It's about what is in you is going to be projected out of you. So in your world, what is out of you that's showing you what is in you, or even better still, what used to be in you. And knowing that if it's no longer who you are, then that means the things that you're wanting, the essence of what you're wanting, will be eventually projected to you on the outside and show up externally. So I really love how I've noticed that with these dailies, they've been really helpful for me in being able to focus on one thing, but then also on everything, but not so much on a person and a personal reading, but in a more so general energy, and just to kind of feel it out and find my way through it. It's been a really great intuitive exercise and form of expression for me personally. I think for the I think the people who watch, I thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me some of your time and finding a semblance of guidance or even camaraderie when you watch this and it hits for you or it gives you something to think about. With this, so anyway, what I have learned about myself is there is an element of, and I don't like saying this because it makes me feel some type of way, there is an element of like channeling, and it sounds like I'm rambling. That's why I say when I'm doing a pick a card, if anyone's going to do timestamps, to timestamp it when I introduce the card. Because even before then, certain songs will start seeping in. Certain songs will start coming in and I'll say, hey, XYZ, and then song will get a little bit stronger. That's like, I think, like a clairaudient thing, whatever. But there's all these little sort of musings that I'll say in the beginning that aren't, in my mind, I was like, oh, this is frivolous. I'm just having a conversation with you. But really, it's like a channeled message. It's just coming through the vessel that is me. So it's going to sound the way it's going to sound. Just like I'm shooting the breeze. So in any case, the whole thing about what our desires are and what we're wanting, to me, I feel like this sacred pool carries that message of what are we, projecting out into the world, or is this light being projected into us? It could be symbiotic, working at the same time we are projecting and it's being projected into us. It's a very curious subject for me. I'd like to know what you think about which came first, the chicken or the egg, which came first, our desire, or the desire came first, and then we sort of ate of the desire, the essence of the desire hit us. Or did we come up with the desire, and then we put the desire out there for us, for us to meet it. I really do wonder in that sense which one came first, the chicken or the egg. It's definitely a chicken and egg question. So when it comes to your world, or even just your day to day, or something that may come about today, or whatever, not so much in the chicken or the egg, because that's sort of a moot point, it's inconsequential in a way. I don't feel like that's the overall message. I think that is the overall kind of like huge umbrella arch that's like the world we're playing in, but there's something specific. There's something a little bit more specific, I think, about consciously choosing what it is that you want, consciously choosing who you want to be, and consciously choosing where you're at in the world. Because how often is it that you think something about someone, let's say you work with a coworker, or even a boss or a subordinate, whatever your situation is, or a family member, and you have this like kind of like a butting heads, these sort of bad vibes. You don't really say anything much to each other, but there's always like, you feel like this person doesn't like you, you feel like this person doesn't respond to you the way that you would like them to, or the way that you even see them responding to others. And then when you ask them, or when the situation arises or something happens, this is so funny, because I was literally just thinking about this in the toilet. Sorry. I mean, when I was elsewhere. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if this was the reading? It's so funny. I will actually, wow, so wild. Something specific like that, about consciously choosing and seeing how you treat certain people, certain situations, and certain things like in our lives. So with this example that I'm going off of, and then you actually sort of confront this person, not in a head roll type of way, like head side to side type of way, but in a where you find an information piece out and all of a sudden you see things kind of click 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 into place of, oh, that's why they da da da, because now you have like an explanation. So for instance, there's this game where these two characters, this game that I've been like involved in, it's really awesome. Well, I'm not involved in, I play it, it's really awesome, it's really great. There are these two characters. One of them is an actor, the other one is a rich heir. The actor has really bad blood, bad feelings for the rich heir. And it's not until you dig deeper into the story that you find out that the actor had a brother who they used to be really close. And the brother used to stick up for the actor. But then something happened during the actor's childhood that the brother turned on him. He felt his brother turned on him because his brother joined the corporate world and became a corporate person. He was like, you need money, you need resources. You can't live the life of an actor. That's not right. You're going to fail. Like, you need money in your life, right? And so he ran away from home to pursue acting, and he's doing pretty decent at it. But he's now in a group, right? The world, even in fake stories, it gives you the same, not the same lessons, but it sort of gives you similar situations so you can sort of squash and conquer that story in your life, that thing that's running. So he meets this organization, and he's in this organization, and there's a man in there, the rich heir, who reminds him of his brother. Now, the way he reacts to the rich heir is unnecessary. And the rich heir is just himself. But obviously there creates this tension and this bad blood, and the rich heir is pretty straightforward. He says, like, no, I've offered this guy money to support his career, this, that, and the other, and he thinks he's doing something good, but the other guy, the actor, is kind of assuming that this guy doesn't think he can make it, he doesn't want his money, he wants to make it on his own, and, rejects this guy. Long story short, towards the end of it, the actor realizes that he's been treating this guy as a sort of surrogate brother. His feelings towards his brother have been emanating and reflected towards this rich heir who is not his brother. So he's been unfairly treating this man as, because he's been thinking about his brother and that wound that's been there. Eventually, they see each other for who they can be to each other, and they become pretty good friends. It's really cute. In any case, I feel like with this, it's something similar about making conscious decisions and looking at the conscious decisions that you've taken, and also in between those two, waking up to being conscious where we've been unconscious, where we've been saying this did this happen to me, this did this to me, and taking not ownership, okay, because there's people who've experienced certain things that it's a little bit different. Taking sovereignty, taking control, quite possibly, it's that feel where it's like what I say about the membership. It's about stepping into your sovereignty, claiming your sovereignty. What I like to say is you can be on the roller coaster, right? You can be on the roller coaster of certain situations in your life. What my aim isn't necessarily to get you off the roller coaster or keep you on it. My aim is to, my aim is to have you decide and take control and step into the fact that, yes, I'm on a roller coaster, so there's awareness, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to consciously choose to be on this roller coaster, see where it takes me, experience the highs and lows, or I'm going to consciously choose to step off this roller coaster. And being able to be conscious in the choices that we are making, even when we have no choice. Like, there are situations where we are in a state of no choice, right? There are choices that I like to call non-choices because they're not a choice that you would make on a regular day. They're just not. I'm not going to mention one because it's kind of, but, it's just there's choices that are non-choices, which things that you wouldn't do. What I want to bring awareness to for everybody, anybody who comes in contact with Luz Lemire, channel is for you to step into consciousness over what's going on in your world. So even when it comes to surrender, right? If things are happening to you and you feel that things are happening to you and you don't feel like you have any control, and you've actually tried to see if you can have some semblance of control over either your attitude, your perception of the issue, or even over yourself and caring for yourself in that storm, I feel like, oh, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? I feel like being able to even choose to say, okay, this is the ride that I seem to be on. There seems to be no end in sight. If there is, that white light up ahead is a pinprick, and I will just surrender to the path. But at least you've chosen to do that, and because you are choosing to do that, you become awake. You wake up a little bit more to your journey. You wake up more to your life. Like, in awareness comes that waking up to where you're at and the steps you can take to even possibly change it or make your stay comfortable, right? Make your momentary moment a little bit more comfortable, or make it something worthwhile. Like I was saying, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the background in my life, and the people that are in my life have been, so for instance, a dear family member has been in a lot of pain. And it's sort of something that I was mentioning. I don't remember if it was a pick a card or a daily, about where even when you're in the storm, even when you're a season where you can't move, when you are in pain and you've taken the medicine and you're waiting for the medicine to kick in, you're still in pain. What are you going to do during that pain? This person who I care about would watch cooking shows and they learned cooking skills. So after all their pain was done, after all of the stuff that they experienced had reached its ending point, they not only stepped out with feeling, better being outside of the pain, they were also in a position where they had a new skill, right? That's making lemonade out of lemons. That's putting a sense of control and giving yourself something more than just the battle scars, which is great on its own, right? But something more than just the battle scars where you say, yeah, I fucking own that. So I'm going to read Sacred Pool for you. I'm going to read the reverse first, and then read the protection first, and then read the upright. So, reversed, Sacred Pool says, it can be difficult to overcome denial when there is a reward for staying where you are. If you can't accept and love yourself, you remain trapped, wearing a false mask of victimhood. The benefit of embracing denial and the victim's mask is that you never have to take a real risk. Dimming your light serves no one. Turning away from the truth that is reflected in the stillness of the sacred pool keeps you in denial. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Turning away from the truth that is reflected in the stillness of the sacred pool keeps you in denial, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That was one sentence. Such vain efforts lead to a tedious and boring existence. Take the risk and shine your beautiful light into the world. Look in the mirror and see the truth. Surrender the need to self-sabotage. Wow. Remember that you have a responsibility, not just to yourself, but to the divine spark within you. Courage is not the absence of fear. Accept the discomfort of seeing with clear eyes, and you will soon find that wondrous adventures are waiting for you. Step into your magical life. Take the leap of faith. That was spoiler alert. Well, I don't want to. I really like the protection of Sacred Pool. It's not the best in individual readings in some ways, but I really like the overall message of it. Reading it in the upright, when you look into the mirror, do you like what you see? The Sacred Pool asks that you focus on self-love and self-esteem. We are all works in progress, so a detached self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for now. Reflect by the sacred pool and be at peace with yourself. Can you see how far you've come and how magical your life is? Do you notice the spark of the divine shining through your eyes? When you're conscious that you're the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to respect yourself and act in good conscience. Then you'll reap the greatest rewards. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. When you are conscious that you are the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to respect yourself and act in good conscience. Your unique service to the world is not only needed, but celebrated. See the love within you and know that if you cast it upon the waters, it will return to you tenfold. Be at peace, for you are beautiful and loved. Act with surety and confidence, and success shall be yours, whatever your inquiry. So I hope this helped in some way. I hope it served your day. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I really do. Keep your light on, and good luck.